This is Dan Kingsley with the Realty Edge team at eXp Realty, bringing you the Rochester Monthly Market Report for June 2021. Okay, first off, there are currently 344 sales pending in the overall market. That's leaving 177 listings still available for sale. So the resulting pending ratio is about 74.6%. So what does that really mean? Well, the pending ratio really indicates the supply and demand of the market. So obviously, you've probably heard the demand is high and the supply is low. Overall, that's true. If you kind of take a closer look, the 200 to 300 price range is the most number of contracts that are currently pending. Also has the highest demand. And also, if you break that down to what the list price is versus what the pending or sales price is at, that is about 104%. Now, you might have heard stories of other people buying houses and they're paying 15% over list price, and that is happening. There's also properties that aren't selling. There's actually 52 houses from last month that didn't sell, and they can not sell for a range of reasons, such as just overpriced, not set up, show ready, staged so it looks good, clean, repairs that need to be made for most types of financing. Those are the ones that typically don't sell, or the buyer just chooses not to sell. Oh, I'm sorry, the seller chooses not to sell because they don't have the next place to buy. Those are a lot of different things that can happen. The 400 to 500 range is the highest of off market, so that means that anything between that 400 to 500,000, those are the ones that are selling the slowest and or expiring or coming off the market. If you look at the breakdown of houses that have the lowest listing price to sales price, so the buyer is negotiating the most and the seller is willing to come down the most to make the deal happen, that is right in that 700 to 800,000. So if you're a buyer, it's the best time to buy. If you're a seller, that's when you're going to negotiate the most, even though you hear that in the market, nobody's negotiating or sellers are getting more than list price. And that is true, but typically that price is between about that 180 to about the 280, 300 mark. That's where the seller is getting much more than their list and they're getting multiple offers. Again, like I said before, they're about 103, 104% on average. So some are getting more than that, some are getting less than that, but it averages out to be right about 104. The other one that's actually pretty good that has been very slow for us typically in the last 2 years is the 8 to 1 million. So the 800,000 to 1 million is actually getting about 101%. Now, taking it with a grain of salt, a lot of that is new construction as well. So it comes in and gets listed at a certain price. People throw a couple things to add stuff on, the price goes up. But something to take in consideration. Overall, it's still really a seller's market unless you're in that 800 to 900,000. But other than that, that's where we're at. So in the last 6 months, basically from the beginning of the year, there's been a total of 804 contracts that have closed. Typically, in a normal market that we have seen here in Rochester, this time of year, we've usually got about 500 to 600 houses currently on the market. So if you look at only 800 have sold under contract since the beginning of the year, the last 6 months, you can obviously see that we're drastically low on inventory and contracts. So keep that in mind. Majority of our issue here with the Rochester market is low inventory. That is driving multiple offers at that 180 to 300 because there's a lot of people that qualify for that type of mortgage. They have jobs that qualify for that, but there just is a very low set of inventory. The secondary part to that is a lot of those people that are in those houses are more than happy to sell, but they don't put it on because they're looking for the next house. So what happens is we have this like shadow inventory that's not really on the market, but could possibly come on at any time. But they're waiting to find their next house first. So that's one of the things we're working on with our clients is to ensure that we have those sellers in waiting, ready to go. And I think a lot of real estate agents have to do that because these sellers don't want to put their house in the market. They don't want it to sell until they find the next house, and they don't want to be homeless. So that's kind of what we're running in right now. It's still a good time to buy mostly and sell. Good time to sell, obviously, because sellers are getting full price or more. But a great time to buy just because of the buying power. And if you want to know more about why that's so important, it is really because of the interest rate. And I'd love to talk to you more about that. I'll shoot another quick video talking about why 1 percentage point is typically about 10% buying power. And why, if you wait for the interest rate to go up to buy, if it goes up a point, you lose about 10% buying power, even though your monthly payment stays the same. So I'll go through that in more detail if you want to look in later. But that's your market update for the Rochester area. Again, it's Dan Kingsley with the Realty Edge team, powered by EXP. And if you'd like a more detailed market report about your neighborhood and your area, just give me a call or shoot me an email, 507-990-1721 or dan@therealtyedge.com.